Hi, I'm Steve, and on this channel, I tell you about fascinating things connected to our world and far beyond. Today, we're going to explore what if Earth grew 1 centimeter every second? Let's go.
It started innocently enough. One Tuesday morning, Earth decided to stretch. By stretch, I mean it literally began to grow 1 centimeter every second. At first, nobody noticed. After all, a single centimeter is smaller than the thickness of a pancake, and life goes on when pancakes are involved. But soon, subtle anomalies began to appear. Birds seemed to fly slightly higher than usual. Skyscrapers started to look like mini roller coasters from the sky, and grocery store shelves began to feel strangely downward. Gravity, it turned out, wasn't a fan of our planet's sudden expansion. Scientists scrambled. The news channels ran countdowns with increasingly panicked experts. At this rate, the Earth will gain over 86 kilometers in a single day. To the average person, that sounded impressive but abstract, until your morning coffee started floating gently toward the ceiling. Physics have been playing a prank on humanity, and gravity was losing. Airlines posted new flight schedules, mostly apologizing for turbulence that resembled launching a spaceship into orbit. Cats, naturally, ignored everything and slept on furniture that was subtly drifting upward.
By the third day, the effects were undeniable. Mountains sprouted like bread in an oven, rivers struggled to follow their courses, and tectonic plates groaned under the sudden stress. Geologists began holding daily Zoom meetings while clinging to whatever solid rock they could find. "We may experience unprecedented earthquakes," one muttered, as a camera shook violently. His colleague, trying to sound hopeful, added, "Or maybe just really dramatic hiccups from the planet." People laughed nervously. Some laughed because it was funny, others because they were scared, and a few laughed because the planet's growth had lifted their house into a tree. An actual tree. Meanwhile, animals responded in the most peculiar ways. Ants, ever adaptable, built spiraling towers that followed the stretching ground. Birds started forming synchronized patterns in the sky that resembles celestial geometric art, possibly just to mock humans. Elephants, confused and slightly offended, stomped in protest, creating seismic disturbances that made tectonic plates look like they were doing the cha-cha. Nature was not just adapting, it was putting on a show. By the 7th day, the Earth had grown over 600 kilometers. Ocean tides turned into wild, slow-moving tsunamis, while the equator bulged like a poorly made stress ball. Cities along coastlines reported floating street signs, cars doing impromptu roller coaster loops, and people learning to zip line to work. Scientists, now living in a mix of panic and awe, attempted to model the phenomenon. "It's as if the universe handed us an expanding foam ball and said, 'Good luck,'" one physicist exclaimed, hair sticking out at odd angles due to fluctuating gravity. Humans, predictably, reacted in stages. First came denial. "It's just an illusion." Like when you think your neighbor's cat is staring at you, but it's actually plotting to overthrow the government. Then panic, which turned into ingenious problem solving. Engineers built flexible roads, adaptable bridges, and skyscrapers with shock absorbers capable of surviving mid-air jumps. Children, of course, treated it like a cosmic amusement park, riding elevators that now doubled as vertical roller coasters. And naturally, conspiracy theorists claimed it was all a giant alien experiment. By the end of the month, Earth had grown more than 2.5 million centimeters, roughly 25 kilometers. Satellites struggled to maintain orbit, suddenly finding themselves scraping the expanding atmosphere. Space agencies sent out urgent memos. "Please do not attempt to measure the circumference unless you enjoy very fast and very unexpected rides into the sky." Meanwhile, the planet's rotation slowed ever so slightly, making days longer and nights noticeably awkward. Stars shifted, constellations distorted, and the night sky resembled a cosmic Rubik's Cube. Astrology, predictably, was thrown into chaos. Horoscopes now required a disclaimer. Planetary growth may affect your mood and your entire sense of spatial orientation.
Through all this chaos, humans learned a strange new appreciation for the fragility and absurdity of life. The world had turned into a surreal, semi-humorous experiment in extreme physics. People laughed while clinging to lampposts, marveled at mountains forming beneath their feet, and pondered the absurdity of gravity being negotiable. Children asked whether jumping off the roof would now land them on Mars in a week. It wouldn't, but imagination thrived. And somewhere, quietly, the Earth continued its relentless, slightly inconvenient growth, an ever-expanding, unpredictable, and strangely whimsical host to its increasingly creative inhabitants.
In the end, humanity adapted, not because we fully understood the science, but because adaptation is in our DNA. Roads bent, bridges flaxed, and cats continued to nap as though nothing had changed. The Earth grew, we laughed, and life persisted, balancing precariously between awe, terror, and the occasional floating coffee cup. And somewhere above, a scientist muttered, "Well, at least it's good for exercise," as his office floated gently toward the clouds.